Hi, I'm Carolyn,
And I'm Cheryl.
and we're from Village Lane Yarn Cafe. How are you doing? Today it's a nice day out. We're
It's a
sitting.
little cooler than it has been.
Yeah, that's quite refreshing. I'm going to go out for a run afterwards, and I'm so glad that it's not actually so stinking hot, but it's a little bit too reminiscent of fall for me today.
It does. It has a cool chill in the air that feels October-ish.
Maybe it's going to be a day where I actually put socks on. That hasn't happened for a little while.
No, I haven't worn socks in a while.
So this is our third kind of update on how things are going, and it's been a pretty busy week.
It has. We've got a Kickstarter going on right now that, well, it's coming along quite well. It's up to 63%. But,
Yeah, we just started last week.
we've got a lot of great rewards and things offered, so we'd encourage you to come and check it out. I think, Carolyn, can you put the link at the bottom in the notes or something?
Yes, I'll put it. I'll put it at the end of the video, and I'll also put it in the comments for the video, so it's easy for you guys to find. If you would be so kind as to check that out, and perhaps even be one of our backers, that would be terrific. And the details about the Kickstarter and what we're using the money for, and what the rewards are all on that Kickstarter page.
Yes, that'd be awesome if you could go there. That would be great. Otherwise, we've been doing... Well, we went to IKEA yesterday.
We had to fuel up before.
We spent a long time in IKEA.
We fueled up during and then again
At
after.
the end, yeah. Well, they catch you, at the end with ice cream cones, so...
And we succumbed. I think Cheryl and I were both wearing our watches, and we did about 5,000 steps in
IKEA.
In IKEA, looking around a little bit back and forth, and so we were specking out everything that we wanted for the shop, for shelving and couches and coffee table.
We
and
think we have everything we need now. We'll see again when we get the facility, I guess, just over a week from now. So when we get it, then we'll start building IKEA. Well, recruiting all our friends and relatives to come and build IKEA with us, because everybody loves.
Yes, it's about like asking. It's about on the same level of asking someone to come move with you. They're like, I'm busy that day.
Help me move. Yes, so
Yeah.
But we think we've got everything until we set it up. We won't know for sure, but we think we have a good start at least.
Yeah, it was a really successful trip, I think, and pretty pleased with the things that we chose and the look that's going to be coming together. And then we stopped in and talked to our landlord and talked about some painting and stuff that was going to be done. So we're pretty excited about that because it's going to bring it back to a nice neutral base for us to work from and really let the yarn shine. And that's kind of our plan, is to have a neutral background and let all the gorgeous yarns be the
Speak
center
for
stage.
things, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, and it was really great because he's going to be able to get it done hopefully before we even take possession of the unit. And we were thinking that the first week was going to be taken up with wet paint and not really able to do anything. So I'm very pleased that he thinks he can do it next week before we get the unit.
Yeah,
so.
that'll be awesome. If you've checked out our webpage, you'll see that it's just parked right now. And so I think that's our next big focus next week, is to work on our e-com and our website, which are all tied together. And I think both Cheryl and I are a little bit like...
This is not our forte. Yeah, so we're recruiting my oldest son, Marco, who is a computer science graduate from Durham College, to hopefully come and help us out.
Hold our hands, wipe our tears.
We're not exactly computer literate. I'm good at pushing buttons, but this is a whole nother level.
Yeah, for me, anything that kind of delves into like programming and stuff is not. And I think, once we get into it, it should be okay. But I think it's just that little hump of getting over being afraid of doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, once you get started and you actually have a bit more. But I'm also really dreading the entering of the inventory portion of the job and the website.
We'll have to temper the balance between the right amount of wine to make the process
Yeah.
bearable, but not so much wine that the
that we
process
enter
is...
the wrong things.
So,
yeah, too much wine could be troublesome.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have to maybe meet it out, get some kind of dispenser that has a timer on, and every hour you can have one glass of wine, and that'll be our incentive for getting
Get
it
a
done.
little level.
That's right. Yes. So that's on our plan. And then, the end of next week, we get the keys on Sunday, and then that whole aspect of things start. I felt really confident ordering the yarn. Like, that part was, a little worried that we didn't get what people would like, or that we weren't kind of doing it right. But that part I was a lot more confident about. That seemed kind of easy, and I could do it from the comfort of my own house. But this is like, the website and getting the space ready is kind of for reals,
Yeah.
We won't just own a giant stash of yarn. Between the two of us, we actually are going to have a store.
Yeah, and a giant stash of yarn. Yeah, so I guess, oops, sorry, I'm kicking the cords. This week I posted both on Instagram and Facebook this beautiful night shift shawl that I'm wearing.
She's not wearing it because it's that chilly.
It's not that cold. I don't need to wear it, but I thought, I'll have it on. It's knit out of Cascade Waves, which is Heritage Waves, which we will be carrying in the store. It's Andrea Mowry's pattern, and it starts out, this is the end it starts from, and it starts with 2 colors, and then you change 1 color and 1 color and 1 color, and at some point here I changed 2 colors and then continued with just 1 color changes. So you worked through, and each of the colors in it, there's 6 skeins of yarn involved, and each skein has gradients and tonal values within it. So it looks like it's an awful lot more than 6 colors.
Was it 6 colors?
6 colors. 6 skeins, and the Cascade Waves are bigger than the skeins of Spin Cycle, which is what I think Andrea Mowry designed it with.
And the Spin Cycle yarn is so gorgeous, but it's a totally different price point.
It's a whole nother level of. This kit will retail for about $100. I think the Spin Cycle would cost double to order it in from Spin Cycle yarn. So this is lovely. It's wool.
So bouncy.
It's merino, and it's got a beautiful squish because it's all slip stitch. Like, it's none of it is. There's no heavy duty work in it outside of slipping and remembering to keep your floats on the right side.
And here's the back side, yeah.
So it's like almost a double layer of wool through the whole thing. So it's got beautiful. It'll be warm as anything.
And just so that you didn't feel like the project was over too soon, it ended with
it was an I-cord bind off. Yes,
so just so that you got to stay with the project for another day or so.
Long time. Actually, it's beautifully designed in that it's an I-cord up both sides. So you start all the edges are all 3 finished with I-cord, and
I like that.
I had never done it before, but it was remarkably simple to do up the sides, and it is beautiful. It's a lovely way to finish it. I'm thinking that should be on all scarf patterns that should have I-cord.
I like it because it won't roll.
No, it doesn't roll, and it's wide enough, and it adds a really nice dimension to the project.
It really finishes it off nicely. So
except for the fact that then you need to match it with an I-cord bind off, which just takes forever.
Yes, but worth it.
But worth it, yes. It's kind of like some of those cast-ons that take you all day, but
so the kits that we're going to stock actually have more than one colorway in them. So there's a few to choose from. I think there's 4.
There's 4 different options put together. So it does give you, I knit option B because they're very dramatically named, A, B, C, D.
B for beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know what, I'll have to
A
come
for
up with
awesome.
Things. Yeah. C for creative. I don't know.
And D for delightful. There you go.
We've got them. So yeah, we will have them all in the store when we open, and I don't know. I
think I just took my inspiration for naming those from the song that I've been singing my kids at nighttime. You know that A, you're adorable. A, you're adorable. Yeah.
There you go.
B, you're so beautiful. C, cutie. Okay. And D, delightful. So
delightful.
There you go. I'm actually wearing something that I knit today too, and this is knit from Cascades Anchor Bay. And this yarn is really unusual. Well, unusual, I guess, isn't the right term. It's different. It's half cotton, half merino, and so it's great for sweaters because it feels really nice against the skin, but it has a little bit more drape than cotton would have on its own. The other amazing thing is that it's washable and dryable in the dryer, so no special care is needed. Now, it does ball a little bit if you do it in the dryer, not too bad. You really can't see it against the white, but the black, you can see a few little balls. And in fact, this is a second sweater that I knit too big. I was so disappointed. So I thought, oh, no problem, I'm going to shrink it in the wash. So I washed it once, it didn't shrink. I washed it in hot water, it didn't shrink. And I thought, okay, then I threw it in the dryer. On cool temp, it didn't shrink. I threw it in the dryer in hot. It also didn't shrink. So the moral of the story is A,
make the right size.
Stop knitting too big. And B, this yarn is totally washable and dryable.
And you can't wreck it. It will be good gift giving because they won't be able to destroy your project.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, maybe it shrunk 1%. I don't even know if it was that much. So it's still a little bit too big, but I'm totally happy with it. And this sweater is actually on my Ravelry page, the pattern for it. It was really enjoyable, and I really like the chevrons and how it knit up. And my Ravelry page, you can find me under Terrapin. I'll link it. I'll put that the pattern for both Cheryl's shawl and for this sweater below in the comments on this video as well.
Perfect.
So yeah.
What are you knitting this week?
I am knitting a pair of mittens, a Sweet Georgia pattern, and
With Sweet Georgia yarn
with
too,
Sweet
right?
Georgia yarn. Yeah,
A
yeah.
worsted?
It's worsted, and so after I've been working with some finer yarn, and so I really wanted some nice worsted on my fingers. It's one of my favorite weights to work with. So I've got the first pattern, the first mitten done, and now I'm just on to the second one. So I'll be able to show them to you, and they're in a gorgeous color called Fizzy Water.
It's a beautiful blue.
Yeah, and blue is not typically my in my wheelhouse of colors to really work with, but this blue is totally gorgeous. I think Cheryl was eyeing it. I'm like, no, I'll take that one, and she's like, but it's blue, and I'm like, I know. So I can't wait.
It's got a gorgeous stitch definition.
So I'll show you the pattern next week, and I'll show you the mittens, and they're super. Again, it's quite a lovely bouncy wool, but it doesn't have much haloing to it, at least with it being unwashed. So the stitch definition is beautiful and crisp and has quite a nice little bit of luster. So I really like that. And I think when we get the shipment of yarns, and we did order Fizzy Water as well, for the shipment coming in, I'm going to do the hat. So we have a matching set of hat and mitts because it's been really fun.
Good. And I'm working on the macrophilia shawl with the Malabrigo Sussurro yarn, which I posted on Facebook and Instagram, so you guys can keep up. It's going to take a little while because it is not worsted weight, and it is lace pattern, very charted, but I'm really enjoying it. It's quite lovely, and it's a beautiful, beautiful blue again as well. Apparently we're having some blue shop samples.
Yes. So an interesting fact about the Malabrigo Sussurro is that my friend Teresa actually won the contest to name it, and it was Teresa who came up with the name Sussurro.
Brilliant.
So hi Teresa, if you're watching this, a little shout out to you. And it was a great name for a really interesting yarn. So
yeah, it's got linen in it, and I can't remember the rest of it. I didn't bring it with me, but it's a different blend of linen and merino and something, I think. But yeah, it's unusual. It's not like anything else we'll have in the shop.
Yeah, so when we're finished, we'll give you the full details about that yarn and that shawl, but those are kind of the sneak peeks into what's happening. We posted a few things on Instagram this week too. We got some really cute gift tags to go along. A little
Bad
saucy.
Betty Knits.
Yeah, from Bad Betty Knits. They're a little saucy and perfect for those of you who give away knits with a little trepidation. And trepidation that the gift giver is going to appreciate how much work went into it. I think one of them says, this sweater was made with binge Netflixing, Netflix and cursing or something. But they're really funny. We posted just one of them, and we also got an order from Katrinkles this week,
and some really great little knitting notions and helpful bits.
Yeah, so I did post a photo too on our Facebook page of a little bag of die-cut aromatic cedar little shapes in a bag, and the idea is you can throw it in your knitting stash cupboard, or you can throw it in your bag, and the idea is that
keep the moths out.
Yes, the dreaded moths.
The dreaded moths.
So I think that's our update for this week. Hopefully next week will also bring us some nice weather, and we are definitely have things on the go for next week.
Well, next week beyond the shop, I have to move my youngest son off to St. Catharines for university for his year 2, and that's going to be lots of fun too. There's IKEA building involved in that move as well.
Well, don't get
practiced up before we get to the store.
I learned that trick of getting power drill with a hex bit because it just makes it's much more satisfying to go and have it done than to
turn. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah. So, well, good luck with that, Cheryl.
Yeah, thanks.
And thank you very much for joining us. As always, you can find us on Ravelry. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. And please do check out our Kickstarter campaign. And if you're willing to become one of our backers, that would be great. And if you're willing to share it, that would be terrific too. Thank you very much for the support.
And have a great week.